Hey guys, Griffin here, and today I'm going to be talking about Sunwell Plateau post-nerf on the beta. But first, please take the time to like and subscribe as it really helps me out. Also, if you want to see me playing live, check me out over at twitch.tv/griftonish. Okay, so Sunwell Plateau is on the beta, and I joined a 25-man run of all 70s to run it. I believe we were the first to do it, and I'm glad we did, as bugs were found, which you'll see throughout the video. So this is the post-nerf version, which means all the mechanics are the same, but health pools have been lowered. I believe by 30%. Remember, if the nerf comes before pre-patch, this might be a different experience. This is a pre-patch Sunwell Plateau with the new talents. Now I'm going to go through the key parts of the instance and tell you what I think. If you want to watch the full unedited version, I'll put a link in the description below so you can see that. Okay, first we should probably talk trash. Now in Sunwell there isn't that much trash, but it now officially melts. The mage still sucks, but should die pretty quickly. Now as a bear tank, I did have a hard time holding threat on multiple targets, even with the extra 30% damage for swipe. I regret not glyphing Maul, as it would have probably helped right there. The paladin I was tanking with had the same issue, but luckily challenging roars on a 3-minute cooldown now, and it made it a bit easier. Someone said paladins are missing a key talent to do their AoE properly, I guess. I'm not 100% on paladin, so I'm not sure if that's true or what the ability is. I don't know. I was also wearing some pretty heavy mitigation gear, so wasn't sure what to expect and wanted to be cautious. That might have added to the AoE threat problem. In the future, I think I'll go much lighter. Now let's talk bosses. Now, Kalecgos died insanely fast. You're going to hear me probably say that a lot. We had a paladin start with it, which I think wasn't the best, as their single target is pretty weak at this point, and he did lose initial threat. Blame the pumpers, but once it stabilized, it was fine. We actually had to slow down DPS pretty quick up top. I went down bottom on second portal, and up top he was at 30%, having already slowed down DPS. By the time I got back up to the top, the fight was pretty much over, lasting only 2 minutes and 10 seconds. It's hard to determine overall DPS, as moving up and down scuffs the details, but you'll start to see patterns form later on. Okay, now on Brutallus, we actually scuffed the pull because the raid leader was using a DBM pull counter, and DBM is so buggy many of us didn't use it, creating some confusing moments, but we got it going eventually. The damage taken on this felt so low compared to normal Brutallus. This could be the gear, the talents, the healers, or just the nerf. It's hard to determine. There isn't an issue as we taunt, but even looking at threat, we could absolutely pump on threat, especially using cooldowns. I didn't go cat here because I was trying to watch all the bars to see how people were doing. But yeah, enhance is nuts. They did the top at 70. First, let me say the whole fight lasted 2 minutes and 29 seconds. So the DPS enhance pumped, and the rogue and the warlock right behind, and then damage taken for the tanks was 1.6k for paladin and 1.1k for bear. To give you an idea of the kind of lower amount of damage that we're taking here. Okay, now Felmyst was an interesting story. She bugged out and never landed, and instead of trying to hearth because we were stuck down there in combat, we opted to try to burn her down. Most of us thought once she hit 1% nothing would happen, but you're wrong, she actually died. It only took 15 minutes. The bug was reported. Hopefully it's fixed before pre-patch. Now on to twins. By the way, the gauntlet is the same, just less health, so it was much faster. Okay, so for twins, we had a DK handle the Elithis, the other guy, the second boss, we'll call it. And Pally and I went Sacrilege. Now, we had no DVM, so relied on raid leader to call on Kalecgos. Honestly, Sacrilege died so fast, I never even got threat. I went thick gear on accident, so that's on me. But as you can see, the DK that had never tanked this boss was fine. He didn't know to stack on Shadow Nova, but it apparently worked out fine. The fight only lasted 1 minute and 19 seconds. The top DPS was again Enhanced, followed by Rogue. Keep in mind, there's no way of determining skill level of these players, so mileage may vary. The DK tank took 2.2k damage, to give you an idea of how the healing needs to go. I didn't mention this, but we 5 healed this whole thing. I know it sucks that I slipped this in the middle, but I just wanted to let you guys know we had 5 healers. I also don't show it on the screen, but after I went through and looked at healing logs, overall Disc Priest was top, but some of our healers were in default gear, so that might be a factor. Now we get to Muru. Full disclosure, we wiped 3 times on Muru because nobody wanted to press the purge button in phase 2. Once we yelled at them enough, it was a smooth fight, so I'm only showing the clean down. The mechanics are mostly the same. The human ads that spawned on the door side kept just despawning. I reported it as a bug, but honestly I hope it stays that way. Either way, all the ads melted and Muru swapped before a second human phase. We had all casters stay on Muru because melee could just burn down the sentinel and melt the ads and take very little damage. Darkness still happens and still needs the mass dispel. Phase 2 was just a matter of getting out of the mini darknesses. Fight lasted 1 minute and 48. Now for this fight we picked up a new rogue, apparently well known, named Zerine. He was able to top the enhance DPS, and Warlocks are gaining as well. So it went the Rogue, Enhance, and then some Warlocks. I finally turned on healing details, and Shaman topped heals here. Alright, final boss is Kil'jaeden. We did wipe once on Kil'jaeden, and it was due to a poor stat call, I believe. I'm not sure what happened, but it was unforced error for sure. Second attempt was much cleaner. The speed at which we pushed to each phase was insane. We pushed so fast we had 0 darknesses, and the dragons were just standing around watching the world burn. The warrior whirlwind looked less deadly to me, but don't assume that. It was only one event, and we could just have gotten lucky there. So everything died so insanely fast though. Our time on this fight was 3 minutes 10 seconds. Top DPS was Zerine, again followed right behind Jarusp, I don't know, the enhanced shaman. I figured I'd say his name since he did pump all night. Nerbotiget, the lock was right behind. Top healer was Cruton, the disc priest, and Miss Olivia, the Russell shaman, was number 2, and those two pretty much were the top. They might be the ones that had the full gear. But that was it. It was actually fun to do and see the mechanics and how DKs fit into the mix. Again, if you want to see the whole raid, check out the link below. Thanks for watching, guys, and as always, take care.
Dude.
Wow.
Quick in the bubble. GG, guys.
Easy.
Yo, nice. World first Sunwell, boys.